All right, boys and girls, let's get this episode rolling today. I'm flying solo. And to be honest with you, I kind of like doing that sometimes. It's actually enjoyable. I guess when you have a big mouth and can yak like I can, it's not that hard to do. Maybe I get a little, excuse me, a little out of breath sometimes, but for the most part, I do it right, I guess. But I want to do something interesting today. I'd been thinking last night, like, what am I going to do an episode on? There's so many different things. There's so many guests I want to have on, and that's easier said than done because we're in the middle of duck season. Everybody's having guests out, or everybody's hunting. So, because we're all waterfowlers, and once we're in the game, once we're in the thick of it, that's all we think about. That's all we do. And so I get it. I'm not even good about getting people on. It's not that people are saying no, they can't do it. I'm like, man, let's set this up, and then I end up going on a hunt or going out of town or I'm at work. So it's just kind of like, it just doesn't work out. So it's really hard in the middle of season to get the guests on that I want to get on because it's lining our schedules up. But anyways, before we get in this episode, I did want to go over one thing and somebody that is sponsoring this podcast, and that is Motion Ducks. I actually just got mine out. It's that time of year where you need the movement. Yes, there's pulsators. Yes, there's spinner wings now we can use in California. A lot of other states can use them year round. We can't. It's basically got to wait till December 1st. And so there's good things out there like that. But I feel like still, if you not lazy like I can be sometimes, and you want to suck the birds in, Motion Ducks, jerk string, jerk rig, whatever you want to call it, is by far the best setup. And what's cool is till the end of season, they're giving us a pretty cool deal for our listeners. And that is if you go to motionducks.com/MVM, MVM, there's a short message on there to you guys from us. And then you can also, so he's already given a discount off that setup. It comes with the free weight bag, which is not normal. So you get the free weight bag for the listeners. You get the rig. Get the pull string, all that good stuff, and then he's giving a discount on there, and then another discount. If you put the code in MVM10, you get an additional 10% off of that. So specifically just for you guys, it's the best deal out there. I don't know anybody that actually has that good or, but I guess I'm just getting all tongue twisted, but best deal out there for the discount and the setup. So I'm telling you guys, if you're in stagnant still water, that is by far what you guys need to go to. It's I can't tell how many times it's been dead, and the dead as in wind. It's calm, the water's stagnant, and you're the only guy out there in that whole refuge or on the whole bank that looks like real ducks, just kind of tooling around and swimming around and feeding and all that good stuff. So it works. In fact, I got mine out for a hunt that I'm going to be doing this week, this Wednesday. I do see rain in the forecast, but I don't see a ton of wind, so I'm going to be pulling that thing out, and maybe I can shoot my 7 Drake shovelers. That's the goal going out there. I'm really hoping I can make that happen. I guess people said shoot limits of mallards is overrated, so I did a little poll on YouTube and was really blown away by a lot of the comments, but let's see here. Now, so what I wanted to do and start this out with is I want to give you guys like a mid-season, and I need a pin. Let me grab a pin if I can reach it. I'm going to take my headphones off, I think. Hold on. There we go. All right. I'll rip my headphones off, but we're good. I want to do a mid-season gear update on our gear. Maybe that's something we can do with Thomas and Travis later too. Whatever it is that they would want to talk about, but my brain spins a lot, so I'm always thinking of different stuff. So first off, what I wanted to go over and give you guys an update, and let me say this first before we start, okay? I really want to say thank you so much, and I do this a lot. I thank you guys a lot, you listeners, but I haven't done it in probably maybe a month or two. Thank you so much for your guys' support. I feel like the people that listen on the podcast are by far the most loyal followers and just friends almost. and I say friends because I don't like the concept of fans. I don't like that. You're not fans. You are just people that I feel like we have this common goal and common, what would it be? Like, that's not the word I'm looking for. Like this common mindset. We have the same mindset. When I say common, I mean common in the waterfowl world. We want to be successful. We want to be the best hunters we can be. We want to be ethical. We want to do the right thing. We want to have all this, build up our skill level and get better. Not because, that means we shoot more and more limits as we progress in our hunting abilities. It's just getting better. And we've done episodes on that, getting better. And I always want to get better. And in the waterfowl world, you're still going to get fooled by ducks no matter how long you've been hunting them, but you can always get better. Like if you maybe would have went on this one hunt where you shot a little mixed bag of something, and maybe you shot only 4 birds. Well, maybe 5 years ago you wouldn't have did that because you wouldn't have had the knowledge and the way to change the spread or put the motion there like you did now compared to 5 years ago. So obviously we're all trying to get better. And I feel like with this podcast, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm talking to do my own mistakes, which helps you if you guys listen and makes you not make the same mistakes, even though you haven't walked down that road yet. So I feel like we can help make better hunters because we're broadcasting over this network of podcasting where people are not just California. People are listening in Texas. Shout out to you in Texas. Shout out to you guys in Louisiana and North Carolina, South Carolina, Montana, and Canada, wherever you guys are all listening at. Oregon, Washington, Idaho. You guys, some probably have more experience. A lot have more experience. A lot have been hunting longer, but there's a lot that are about my level, and there's a lot that are way below my stage. I shouldn't say level, but stage in the hunting ducks and geese. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you guys for your support. You guys are loyal listeners. You guys are always there. We put it out. I can see it on the downloads, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. And the people that have met, like for instance, if you guys, shout out to Nate and Gabe. We met you guys at the refuge. When was that? That was like opening day. Shout out to you guys. Guys like you, honestly, it's not that we need a pat on the back or nothing like that because we just do what we do. But you guys were so sincere. And a lot of you guys are that reach out and email and this and that. But just meeting you in person, it was really cool because you guys were so sincere. And I felt like we just kind of hit it off. And it was like, man, these dudes are super cool. Sometimes you wonder, like, who are these people out there that are listening and whatever. But anyways, it was nice meeting you guys. And I felt like you guys really were sincere. And it was just, I don't know, it was just great to meet you guys. So followers, or people that are on the same journey that we are on, it's just nice to meet you guys and hear your feedback. Enough of the mushy stuff. Let's get into the real deal. So first off, I want to talk about my choke. You guys, any of you follow along, you guys have seen that this year on my 12 gauge, just my 12 gauge, I went from a Kicks High Flyer full choke to a Patternmaster Code Black Duck. Now, some of you that love Kicks, you're like, why did you do that? You were happy with it. You shot good with it. Why would you do that? Well, that goes back to always wanting to do better, always striving to do better. And I feel like I'm the kind of person, I feel like there's always room for improvement for everything. You feel like you can have it perfectly dialed. I don't know. I think there may be some things with choke or ammo or the combos of those two that you can have the best of the best. Yes, I know you can kill ducks with steel, and you can use any steel. You can use heavy steel. You can use Super X. You can use all these brands out there, and there's a couple new ones this year, the last couple years. Yes, I've killed them with them my whole life. All I'm doing, I have the opportunity, I have the money, a little bit of the extra money to say, hey, that's where I want to put my money to. You guys may put it on a bow, or you may put it on this, or you may put it on new clothes. I choose to put my little bit of extra money into like my ammo and what I'm shooting ducks with and my gear. So that being said, I was very happy with the heavy, excuse me, my mind's all cluttered this morning, with the Kicks High Flyer full. In fact, I barely started shooting that at the end of last season. And the first time I shot it, it was just instantly like, whoa. Like it was just where the bird's wings just clamped to its body, like it just got electrocuted or something. And I was like, man, this stuff is money. And that was what shooting heavy metal. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like the last maybe 2-3 weeks. And that actually came from a subscriber hunt. He was shooting the kicks full. I was shooting the kicks modified. He was shooting the kicks full. And I just liked, I don't know. Something about it. It was like he was shooting really good. His name was CJ. I don't know if he listens to podcasts or not, but local guy. Had a resi, took us out, me and Thomas out with him. There's a video of that from, I think it was last season or maybe the season before. But anyways, man, I really liked it. So, been using that. Man, that was 2 years ago. My goodness. My brain. It's insane. I guess I don't know if it's getting older or what, but like, oh yeah, last year. And it was like, that was 2 seasons ago. So I shot the Kicks High Flyer full all last season. And then I was super stoked with it. But watching and talking to different people and watching videos about the Patternmaster Code Black, because I've tried Patternmaster 4, I was not happy with it. But it was like the original one. I just didn't like it. It wasn't good for me with the combo I had of ammo, okay? And you guys know the ammo that I shoot is the ammo I'm going to shoot. So my choke works around the ammo I shoot. So I was like, man, when I watched Chasin' Green shooting ducks, when he would hit, it didn't matter if it was 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, it was blowing feathers off him. And I know that sounds probably stupid to some of you, like who cares if it does or not, but I just, I don't know. I got like a little thrill out of that. Like, oh man, you just hit that bird. Like I love when you just center punch a duck, it's just the most satisfying feeling you can feel out there, in my opinion. So I was kind of seeking that, like mallards are so tough. If you've done any hunting of mallards, they are very, very tough birds. And you can just knock the snot out of them, think they're stone dead, and they're up trying to swim off into the tulies, And I obviously I dealt with that more when I was shooting just straight still. And no other birds I feel like are really like that. I feel like pintails are kind of one of the almost resilient was the word I was looking for the mallards. But I feel like pintails can almost be kind of soft, like you hit them, they won't really try to swim off you. They may be tough and stay alive maybe sometimes, but they don't have the aggression and the desire to live and survive. I feel like mallards do. But I wanted something, I wanted a choke, I wanted an ammo combo that would knock the snot out of him, and there was no flinching, there was no swimming, there was no like rolling. It was just stone dead. And the way I seen the Patternmaster Code Black smacking those ducks, I said, I got to try it. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it. Doesn't mean it's going to go good with the heavy metal, heavy bismuth, heavy 12 that I'm shooting, or the heavy till even. That's all straight still. I love heavy till, 3-inch 6-shot. And I got a few boxes in my closet still left. I went through a case of that, and I think I have 3 left of that case. But anyways, I said, let's try it. So I bought it. And I got to backtrack and watch those videos and see again what it looked like. But I patterned it and I was like, okay. And that was before I actually compared it to the Kicks. And I know a lot of people on that video were like, I don't know why you're trying to make it sound like the Kicks is right there with it. It's clear that the Patternmaster has blown it away. And you would be right. It definitely, I feel like it was better. I don't feel like it blew it away compared to like a factory choke versus say the Kicks. There was not that much of a difference in my opinion, but it definitely was better. There wasn't as many flyers. It was a tighter pattern. And you got to remember, and it drives me nuts. I say in the videos, I say, this is with this gun and with this choke. And people still say, yeah, it's just with that combo. And I'm like, no, I know that. I know. And I even clarify it. And it's like, I don't think you guys are people that say those kind of comments are even watching the video. Because if they watched the whole video, they would hear me say those things beforehand. So I just don't even respond to those comments because it's like, I clarified that very clearly and you're trying to come on top of that. But it's with my Browning A5, mine, with my serial number. So what that means is that doesn't mean the next Browning A5 is going to do the same thing. I feel like it'd be very similar, but it still's not going to be the same because it's a different barrel. It's a different gun. Every gun shoots different. So you guys, I encourage you, even if it's a still that you're shooting, play around with chokes. Man, I used to think that was such a waste of time and so stupid. I really did, honestly, guys. You don't know, you can't see that now. If you haven't been around since the beginning, I used to think that was the most stupid thing. Like, why do people put these aftermarket chokes and use your factory choke? I kill birds all the time. I used to be that guy. And there's nothing wrong with somewhat being that guy, but at the same time, you're not being open-minded. Like, okay, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to play with that, don't do it. But don't be so close-minded that you're not willing to, like, you know, that could maybe make you more successful. That could make you more accurate in your shooting, and it could kill birds better. You know, just say that, but like, I'm not going to do it for me. It's not for me. When I started playing with patterns and I started playing with chokes, and man, I've come a long ways from when I first started doing it. I look back at those old videos and I just cringe. It's like, I wonder what I'm going to think of these videos now, 5 years. But what that shows is growth, guys. That shows is growth, and we all need to do that. We all need to grow, and we all need to put in the work to be better. So anyways, I said, okay, let's do it. So I shot it. I was like, whoa, this thing is nasty. Like 20, 30, 40 yards. You get the trolls that come on there. 20 yards is a waste. That's bull. 20 yards is not a waste. Why would you not want to see what it looks like? Okay, yes, it's close, and most guns are going to be good that close. I still want to see what it looks like when I shoot something at 20 yards. What is this pattern going to look like when it hits them at 20 yards? And anyways, I did 20, 40 yards. That was just with that, I believe, and I got to go backtrack and look again. But then I did a kicks versus that. And I'm going to try to pull up videos and talk at the same time. I'm not very good at doing two things at once. Yeah, right here. About 2 months ago, I did kicks versus Patternmaster Code Black Duck, okay? Because there is Goose, too. I guess that's got about 12,000 views on it right now. But before that, let me look. Yes. Okay, 4 months ago, I did a heavy 12 pattern video. I might need to change the thumbnail for that. That thing hasn't really taken off. I don't really know why, but anyways, it's me holding the box of heavy 12, and I do a pattern, and it was like, oh my goodness. Okay, not only is this stuff heavier than lead, which a lot of people quit duck hunting back in the day when lead went out because it was like, oh, still just ain't killing them. You're just selling birds. And it's come a long way since then. But when I did this on here, I was like, whoa, this stuff is gnarly, and it's heavier than lead. I'm shooting 6-shot. Mallards, geese, everything. People, I just don't know what it is. People cannot get over that. Like, I don't think that will ever change. Even when people are shooting heavy, like bismuth, and I'm not talking about just heavy bismuth. I'm talking about Boss or whatever ammo. People shooting bismuth, people shooting tungsten. They're still like, yeah, I use 2-shot for geese and 4-shot for ducks. and hey, whatever flavor that you like, I'm just telling you that you don't have to do that. They say if you normally shoot 4 on ducks, you can shoot 6 on ducks. If you shoot 2 on geese or 1s, you can shoot 3s or 4s. I don't know what it is. It's a mind thing. It really is. And it's none of my business. People do what they want to do, but it's like, I'm kind of passionate about it. And I think that's why I get a little bit like, I don't know why I get worked up over that, because what does it matter to me? If you're killing ducks with it, I don't care. I guess I just want people, they're so stuck in this rut that you got to be shooting BB or 1s at honkers. And someone said one time, oh, you're not over here in Maryland or wherever there's places that get cold. I promise you, if I could fly there right now and shoot my 3-inch 6-shot, heavy bismuth, because I could be wrong, but I believe they were even saying it doesn't matter if it was bismuth or that tungsten, the heavy 12, that it still won't do that. Actually, let's do this. I will shoot the heavy metal 3-inch 6-shot on any bird on the East Coast, in the Northeast of the United States, where it's bitter cold. It will stone them. I promise you. That's how confident I am with it. 6-shot is not going to not kill ducks. It's shot placement. I'm not saying I shoot everything in the head. That's why this better ammo cleans up for poor shooting sometimes. Because if you do make a shot that's further in the back, then, the penetration of that stuff's better, way better than steel. And it goes into the vitals, and the birds are dead by the time you get to them. I'm telling you, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of birds, if not hundreds, over the last couple years between me and Thomas and Travis, the little bit he shot of it. It's nasty, and it helps us as hunters to get more birds. And not, if you make a bad shot, because look, people say, well, you got to pick your shot. Yeah, you do, but I guarantee you there ain't a single duck hunter out there that hasn't made a bad shot on a bird at 20 yards. I'm sorry, you're a liar if you say no. We've all made those just on a golden platter, 20 yards. Just, you're like, I'm gonna crush this bird, and you like hit it in the tail or tail pipe it or something dumb, and you spin it and it takes off flying, and you're bang bang. We've all done that. It doesn't matter if you're shooting steel or bismuth, but the difference is when you're shooting the heavier stuff, it penetrates to the vitals. It's going through the lungs and the heart. It's entering the organs, and that's what finishes the bird off even quicker. So anyways, but that choke, the difference, what it is in Harrison, is the one that really brought it up with that choke. And with my ammo combo, he said, hey, the difference with that Patternmaster Code Black Duck is that they have made the shot string shorter. So if you can look, if someone's in front of you and they're shooting from left, like in front of you from your right to left, okay, so they're shooting the gun past you, and you were to look and you freeze frame that, you would see a trail of pellets, BBs, shot, okay? I get harassed for the way I say that. So shot. You'd see that string of that in front of you. And depending on how far away that you're shooting and the longer distance that it travels, the longer that string extends. So that's why I've always said, and once I figured that out longer ago, is you almost can't overlead, because let's say if you shoot and your shot string is kind of long, and I know, choke companies try to make that not be that way, but it just is. Let's say if you're at 30 yards, let's say if your shot string is 4 feet long, and you shoot in front of this bird, and the first foot, and that's exaggeration, I'm just trying to get you guys a mental picture here, and the bird's flying from left to right, and you shoot way in front of it, and the first foot of the shot string is past the bird, and he's still flying into it. Now the second foot, and that bird hits the third foot of that shot string, you're still going to kill him. But if you shoot right on target and it's not reaching him, he's past it before it even gets to him, you're missing. 99.9% of all duck hunters, if they miss, they're shooting behind. And anything after that, then that's just on you. Like if you're shooting over or under, that's just kind of an aiming thing. But like lead-wise, and the thing is, and I don't know how long the shot string is with that Patternmaster Code Black, because again, Harrison's the one that got me into that. I seen what it did with his gun. I seen what it did to birds, and I also seen what the pattern looked like, so I had to try it. Like I said, from Chasing Green and Harrison. So anyways, we went there and did it. And I will tell you what, guys. This season, that thing has been blowing feathers off like I wanted. Not every time. I don't know if it's just the angle or what it is, but a lot of times, man, feathers are blown off. And I just love it. And I say that. It's not because I'm trying to destroy the bird and have no meat left on the thing. I'm saying that because that thing has not a prayer to get away. He's dead. And you say, okay, well, how's the meat? Are you ruining the meat? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The meat is not getting ruined. All these breasts with any of this ammo that I've been shooting with that choke has been completely fine. There may be a couple in there, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I've been shooting them on the head. But there is nothing wrong with the meat. It has not obliterated the bird. I know that first video of the season that we did, where me and Thomas were out there hunting. Now his choke was blowing birds apart, but now we put that towards it being early season. The plumage in the birds is very thin. It was warm. Now they've got that thicker down, and it's just not doing the same thing. It's just stoning them, and it still may blow some feathers off, but when you pluck it and get down to either pluck it or breast it out or whatever we're going to do, it's just like, okay, where's the shot at? Like, they're stone dead, but it blew feathers off them. So, yes, I really like this. Am I going to say I like it better than the Kicks High Flyer Full and I'm never going to go back to it? I don't think I'm going to say that, because I got to go back and do some research on these videos with my patterns, and I feel like Kicks outperformed on one of those ammos, and I can't remember if it was 12. I want to say it was heavy 12, that it looked so much better. But you got to remember, that is just what it looks like on paper. That's not including the shot string, that it may be just a short little shot string and all the shot is hitting it at once. That's what's amazing. It hits all at once. And there is a little less room for error there, but when you have that impact that bird all together instead of in a long string, I mean, common sense tells you how nasty that is, right? So my mid-season update of that choke is I really like it. It has not come out of the gun, out of my 12 gauge this year. It stayed in there. A little more things about it. I would say also the other thing with that is it does want to get wedged in there. I've heard a lot of people saying it's getting locked in, and I clean it every time I get done hunting. I unscrew it, take it out, dry inside in the threads in my my barrel, and it definitely wants to lock in there way more than the Kicks ever did. So I'm kind of always fighting that. So if you get one or have one, definitely don't leave it in there. Some people I know, it's done, it ain't coming out. If you have that happen, don't give up and not say, well, I ain't going to be able to get out. Let me give you this suggestion. Take the barrel off the gun, take it apart, take the barrel off the gun, throw it in the freezer if you have room in a freezer, for like, I'm trying to remember how long I threw that in there. I want to say 15, 20 minutes. And one time that was actually with the Kicks, because I had rained really hard and I never pulled it out. That was a lesson learned at the very beginning when I started using those Kicks chokes. But it's really never happened to me. One time it did, so I threw it in there, and what it does is the metals are different, and the shrinking, kind of the shrinking is the best word I can use, and I came right out. So if you have that happen, there's a little pro tip for you. Throw it in the freezer, get that barrel reduction size, like where that separation kind of separates from it, and then you can unscrew it and take it out. For the most part, I don't think it's gonna work for everybody. Some are just in there for life, but I'm happy with it, guys. I'm happy with it. I know about 20 minutes of this has been about ammo and, about chokes and stuff, but I'm super happy with it. I'm not going to get rid of my Kicks. I don't know when I would switch, though. Like I said, just being the way I am, if I'm going to shoot this certain ammo, then maybe, and it shot better with Kicks, I'd probably throw it in. I know it's kind of weird and overkill, but I'm just weird like that. Now let's go over some other updates. Let's see here. What else could we go on mid-season gear update that we've been using this year? Oh, the boat. My goodness. I know people want to see more refuge hunts, and they're coming. We have them. I just haven't been edited yet. It's kind of a bummer, because when you get the boat and you have such another big opportunity, and people are like, don't even almost, I know not everybody's like this, but a lot of people on YouTube just don't have the interest in that, I guess, because it's not relatable. But it's kind of a bummer for us, because, like, hey, we're trying to do more stuff and trying to bring more variety, and people, like, aren't caring for it, I guess, or something. It's kind of weird to me, but whatever. We're still going to make whatever we make as far as content goes and maximize our opportunities, because my thing is I have a job where I can go on the midweek, and that's when I like to go, but nobody else is going. And that's the best time for me, and I take advantage of this job, because I don't think this job I'll be in this job forever where I have that opportunity. So try to take advantage of it. So the boat has been a massive thing. Calls. I'm still using JJ layers. I have the hybrid, which is my number one call that I use all the time, with the 350 reed in it. I have the beer bottle color is the name of it. You know, check out Upper Duck. If you guys are looking for a layers call and you have a hard time finding them, which they are hard to find, upperduck.com. They're great people. You can even call them and say, hey, can I get one of these? And they might special order them to have Brett Crow, which makes JJ Layers calls now. It has been for a long time. Championship caller, they might put in a special order and he'll make some of those for them or whatever. So that's how I got it, because I couldn't, they were always sold out. And I really liked that color, just went good with hunting. And I just like the color. It's like that clear brownish color. I mean, and then jade. He made the jade for us. That jade color is sick. It's so beautiful. So I have a hybrid in that with the 360 in it. I like the 360, and then there's times I'm just like, it's a little bit. I don't know. Like, there's a couple sounds I can't do as good, I feel like, on calling that I can with the 350 out of the hybrid. I also have the T1, and I was gonna sell that. I was gonna get rid of it. I can't tell you how many times I was gonna get rid of that T1 because I felt like I just couldn't find the right reed length. Well, then I talked to Brett Crow and I asked his, kind of his favorite call. He says he likes them all, but a lot of competition on his live duck calling competitions. He was blowing the T1, which is the timber, and he told me between. Did he tell me 375 and 380? I think between 370 and 380. And that's the length, okay, guys? They're cut precisely to these lengths. They're very minimal lengths, but it does make a massive difference, as you well know if you've trimmed duck calls and did it yourself at all. But I put a 370 in that T1, and I love it now. It's really snappy. The chuckling I'm not as comfortable with yet because it takes a lot more back pressure, but just the quacks and the wah, 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 and the wah, wah, wah. I actually really like that pop and that snap it has to. That's kind of like a shorter, crisper. Whereas the hybrid with the 350 for me is like higher, a little bit whinier, squillier. I just like it. So I like the combo. I actually have them both now on my lantern. I used to only do one mallard call. Now I do both those, and I like that combo. 20 gauge. I've got the 20 gauge out on 3 or 4 hunts. Plan on getting them out more. We're in the middle of season right now, and the best part of it, where it's basically good from here on out here in California. So we do a lot more refuge hunts using both those guns. I actually might shoot that this week on a hunt. What other gear? There was some other gear that I was wanting to talk about. The Rogers cart. We have the Rogers cart pushing in, and it's just that big cart. It's a 600-pound cart with the extra large jet sled, which is I love, especially with the dog, because you got the dog. Oh, by the way, I lost my Momharsh dog stand in Idaho with the one with the cover, which is more money. So I ended up buying the open one again. So I started with the open one. I lost that one. And then I went to the enclosed one where he can get inside and he's hidden better because he's a black lab and sometimes he sticks out in like the tan tules. Then I lost that or left it in Idaho on accident when we were hunting one of the islands or something. And I guess that's what we're assuming. So then I bought another one, and here we are. It's an open-faced one. So what made me think about the gear thing to kind of go over some of my personal gear, and I'll think of some more of it. Again, the heavy 12, 3-inch 6-shot out of the 12 gauge, the 1 1/8 ounce. And I believe, I can see it. The 1 1/4 ounce is 1,500 feet per second, guys. I didn't realize that. No, take that back. I'm sorry. The 1 1/8 ounce is 1,500 feet per second, and they have a 1 1/4 ounce, and that's 1,450. So to me, I like the 1,500. I'll take a little less shot. That's probably, I may change my tune on that later. I don't know, but I'm just like, man, 1,500 with that. Oh my word. But I'm cool with 1,450 because all the heavy bismuth is 1,450, and then when I'm shooting my 20 gauge, it's only 1,400. So, and if you don't think speed matters. It does. As far as lead and stuff like that, people think, oh, that don't make that much of a difference. It does. Me and Harrison had this talk. I should have him on again and talk about that. But I also wanted to go over California Waterfowl came out with the magazine with like a mid-season gear guide. So that's kind of what spun me off the idea of doing this episode. And kind of want to go over a few things that they had I thought was pretty interesting. And they also have a Mossberg 940 Pro Waterfowl gun. And basically what they have is it's a 12 gauge, excuse me. Let me go back a page. It's pretty cool because, what page is that on? The one is a goose gun, obviously not honker, but snow, and it holds 13. Yeah, right here. The Mossberg 940 Pro Series. It says stand up to the elements. It's guns built for hardcore waterfowling. It looks pretty sick. It's kind of like a snow camo. The one that holds the 13. Looks like it's got the old Ultra Go bead on it. I can't tell what choke that is on it. I mean, it says full choke, but I guess that maybe that's Mossberg's own personal choke. But it is an extended choke. But it says built for surmounting harsh wet conditions. Our 940 Pro shotguns feature corrosion-resistant internal parts, a self-draining stock with an adjustable, that's nice, with an adjustable length of pull, and Cerakote protective finish on both the receivers and chrome-lined barrels with a gas system that can go up to 1,500 rounds between cleanings. These shotguns will perform smoothly and reliably season after season. So the 940 Pro Snow Goose 12 gauge is 13 shots, and then the 940 Pro Waterfowl 12 gauge is 5. Obviously, you would have to put the plug in that to be only 3. I think obviously you can do that if you wanted more of a waterfowl gun or a duck hunting gun, and then you wanted to have a few extra shells. You could take the plug out and use it for like conservation season for geese. So let me go back to this. So that's what they were talking about. Yeah, and it says it actually shoots the waterfowl one. Says that it actually shoots low ounce loads too. Says it weighs 7 3/4 pounds. It's gas operated, and it cycles very light loads, 7 1/8 ounce, 1,200 feet per second target loads too, with no problems. So that's good. It's running 1,050. So if you want to check out a new gun, it's pretty interesting. Check it out at mossberg.com. They talk about the Franchi Affinity 3 shotgun in here. That's what I have, the 20 gauge though. Franchi says their butt pad plus, all the other things, they said that their TSA recoil pad, I guess, is reducing felt recoil up to 50%. I don't know. I mean, 20 gauge is 20 gauge. I don't know if it's reducing even that more, but I can tell you, I don't feel it that much. Now, if you get the black one, you can get it for $1,000. I got the timber one. I want to say out the door it was $1,200 or $1,300, but I really wanted a 20 gauge. Taking a sip of coffee here. Hold on. So good. All right. Let's go on to the next thing. Oh, yeah, the Sport Dog. Okay, what do I use for Rocky? I use the Man, what one is that now? It's the 825. I think it's the 825. It's the Sportland Hunter, and I would suggest if you guys want a e-collar for your dog, I would suggest the 425 because it's way cheaper. The one I have can use for multiple collars. And the 425, and the 825 actually has a long reach. I think it's like up to 2 miles, but like there's no absolute, I don't feel like there's really no need for that. So I kind of overdid and didn't really know what I was looking for when I bought it. But if I had to do again, or this one kicks the bucket, I'm definitely going to get the, I think it's the 400 series. So, heavy 12 is actually in here. I like what they say. Cost is more per shell, but you will need fewer shells. So true. I'm not going to drag on that anymore. I've already talked about that. I guess I don't know if this is new. Oh, I think it was a lady that wrote this gear guide in this deal. That's why a lot of this is lighter stuff. It's women's Hudson jacket. She talks about Big Al's Mallard pack of these silhouettes, which look really good. It says it's $72 for 12. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Final Approaches decoys. Okay, guys, we have beat the snot out of these. In fact, I almost have purposely abused those decoys to see if they could stand under the test. I was kind of told to by them too, like, hey, don't baby these. Let's see what they will do. And I will say, we have beat the snot. I've never treated my decoys like in the past like I've treated these, and it's been by purpose. We have some decoy bags for them, and that's what I've always liked doing as slotted bags, because it really takes care of your decoys, and it doesn't let them rub together, and they'll last a lot longer. But it was like on these, it was like, okay, let's put them under test. They're new this year. Let's see what they can handle. And I will tell you that there has not been paint wearing off these, and they have been just thrown in the boat. They've been rubbing up against each other. They've went on the whole boat ride. Like, I don't even hardly use a decoy bag anymore, because it's kind of inconvenient in the boat. We still use them when we go on the refuges and stuff, just because it's the way it sits in the cart and it's a little bit more organized. But in the boat, we're like, and another thing, my goodness, and I'm trying not to get off pace now that I'm starting to think of more things. The rigs, the Final Approach rigs, dude, are amazing. Like, so nice. We have the 4-foot, 4-ounce ones. And I'm telling you, I've used them in Idaho, in the river. I've used them on the refuges, in the Delta. I've used them. Where else have we used them? We're going to use them on some more out-of-state trips to be determined. Like I said, all these refuges, that's what we've been using. And even though they're 4-footers, I've used them in 12-inch deep water or less, even maybe like 8 inches. So even though you have that 4-foot, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, the line doesn't float. There's no memory. What we've been doing is we put them on the D-ring, like 12 to a D-ring, or like a carabiner. Click it on, put all 12 on there. And what I've figured out is I'll run my hand down all the way down to the base of the decoys from the top of the carabiner down, and then I spin them. And then I tie a knot all the way at the very bottom, right next to the decoys, and I mean cinch it tight where you're like, oh man, that thing's gonna make a bend in the line, and you're gonna undo it, and it's gonna stay stuck bent that way. But there's no memory on this line. It's the coated cable, guys. I love it. I'm telling you. I feel like the reason in the past I never used to do it before is because I thought, oh, just because you do Texas rig, you gotta you gotta not put them in a bag, but you can still do that. You can still put them in a bag. You can still put them in a slotted bag if you really want to do that. It's not going to hold you back. I mean, I don't know why I ever limited myself thinking that way, but you can still put them in a slotted bag. So by far, I love these decoys. We got the live mallards, live floating mallards, which have the flocked heads. We got 3 dozen of those. The spoonies are the best spoonies out on the market, 100%, and they've held up great. I haven't got to get the gal balls out yet. What else? The pintails look good. They're a little bit smaller in body than I would have liked. And that was something they talked about. We talked about. There was I think a little bit confusion when they were made, but they're still good. I mean, they're not much different size than AVNX. I just feel like they could have been a little bit bigger, but they look kosher. I mean, they're good looking. What else? The blue wings are studs. The green wings are studs. I love the decoys. Honestly, I really, really, really love them. I'm not saying they're the only thing out there. They're the best thing out there. I feel like they are in the top. I do. For durability and paint scheme and body scheme, I feel like say the Spoonie is the best Spoonie looking out there, if that's what you're looking for. The Mallards, they're up there with the top. The Widgeon, I think they're the best looking Widgeon out there. Honestly, I do. The paint colors and schemes. But like some of the other ones, there's other ones comparable or maybe even better. I feel like there's better Gatwell out there. I feel like these gabble are a little dark. I thought they looked really good when I was there back in Kansas, but like when I got them, I was like, these don't. I feel like they're really dark, but they're gonna work. It's just you're talking to somebody that's super nitpicking. I thought there was more in this magazine about stuff, but I guess not. So, anyways, that's decoys, rigs, choke, shells, guns. I know there's many other things. People are like, why didn't you put that out there? I'm trying to like mentally. Waders are still holding up strong, guys. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the details because I know some get tired of hearing it about Sitka, I guess. Waders are clutch, most comfortable boots on the market. Still no leaks in these waders. At some point, I'm sure it's gonna happen. A friend of mine, Kevin, he just got his back. They put brand new boots on it. He's had his longer, I believe, than I have. He didn't even ask him to. They put the new gen boots on and didn't even charge him. Fixed a couple little holes, little leaks that he had, and never charged him. See, people think, oh, how good is that warranty? Well, I'm telling you, that's two different people that I know. I can't think of the other one off the top of the head, but Kevin has sent his back a couple times. I think this is the second time. They fixed everything and never said nothing and put the new gen boots on, didn't charge him. So I'm telling you, they may say something on their website, but more times than not, I've heard people saying, yeah, I sent in for this, and they never even end up charging me for it. So just saying, middle of season, I think Kevin got his back in a couple weeks or less. So just throwing that out there to you guys. Another brand I really liked, and I really was trying to work with them as far as hats and hoodies and stuff, even though, we're working with Rogers and all that stuff, just to wear every once in a while, is I really like them. If you got a bigger noggin, check out Back Down South brand. Back Down South Clothing, I think, Co. And they had some ideas on their hats that I've always wanted to do on our own hat, but I can never find the right hat to do it. And they got some of these waxed hats that I really like because if it's raining, there's no worries there. They got that kind of like charcoal gray one that has the mallard on the front. They got they're just great hunting hats. They got the brown one with the black lab wearing the headdress like an Indian. So I don't know. I have like 3 of their hats, I think. I got a green one too. And the green and the brown one I like hunting out of, and then the black one, if we're in a boat blind or something, I'll wear that black one. So that's something this year that I've been wearing, if you've been seeing in the videos. What else could I cover about in this up? This did not mean to be this long. I just like trying to put the information out there for you guys. I guess I should have wrote stuff down because I know when I end this thing, I'm going to think of a few more things I would have liked to bring up to you guys. That stuff I've been drinking this year is that it's like Pedialyte, they use for babies when they're dehydrated or to get them hydrated again. But now a lot of gas stations are selling them, and I can't remember what the one I've been buying is, but it looks like a Pedialyte bottle, but it's in a smaller bottle, like a 12 ounce or something like that, 16 ounce. And, I know we're hiking hard. I know when we're in the boat, it's obviously not as much effort, but that has its effort in its own way, trust me. But like when we're on the refuges and we're doing the long walks in and you're pushing really hard, you're hunting hard, it's nice. I feel like I'm better off drinking that than I have been Gatorade. The flavor's okay. I've been drinking the grape. It's not like my favorite, but it also don't have the amount of sugar in it that Gatorade does. And you say, well, you guys drink Mountain Dew. Someone told me the other day, well, you drink Mountain Dews and Red Bulls. What's the difference in NOS? It's like, well, I do. But I do still care a little bit about my body. Like, I know that you guys see the one time cracking open at the end of the hunt, but it's not like we're just cracking those all day long every single day. This is just kind of like a celebratory drink. But, yeah, to stay hydrated, you got the water in the bag, and Rocky's been doing good. The boat, he's used to the boat, but what he drives me nuts on, and I tell people, I go, man, he's got abandonment issues. Like, I feel like in the boat, it's a 17-foot boat, and I walk to the front, he's got to walk to the front with me. I walk to the back, he's got to walk to the back with me. I bend over and grab some decoys, he's got to lick me, and it's just like, dude, get off of me. It drives me nuts. And I know it's driven Thomas nuts too. Like when I'm not in the boat, he just, and it's like, okay, well, I'll make him sit. I'll like go make him on the front deck and say, sit, and he'll stay there. But it's just like, I don't know. He gets spun up in the boat. I don't know what it is, but that's one thing that's been a new deal for him. It's not riding in the boat don't bother him. He's rode in the boat since he was a pup because I had bass boats and take it with me fishing. In fact, a funny story one time is I was using a jig fishing and I had reeled it in. I had a bait caster and he was a pup. Like, I don't know how old he was, maybe 4 or 5 months. And when I brought it in, the jig was like kind of swinging right in front of his face and he was like looking at it and I wasn't paying much attention. I watched him looking at it and I like casted it. And then the next thing I hear is he jumps in the water in the lake right off the edge of the boat and he must have went under for like 3 seconds because he was getting chunkier at that time, and he must have went under the water 4 or 5 feet or 6 feet. I don't even know. And he was just, paddling, coming back up, trying to get in the boat. I had to pull him up in. It was hilarious. But he thought he was going to go retrieve that jig, I guess. So he's been in a boat since he was super, super young. He has no problems with that. It's just hunting in it, and like, we got to spend some time there and a little bit more discipline in that area because once he's on his dog stand, he's good. But the boat, in his mind, thinks it's kind of a free roam area, and it's not. So, we got some good hunts coming up for you guys. Some hunts we've did, I think people thought there was going to be a video. There's not going to be a video for that really good diver hunt that we had. I just didn't feel like bringing it out. Been a little bit, I'll just be honest, been a little bit flustered with just the views. I put a deal out, and people are saying because we're not doing refuge hunts, and it's like they're not interested. It's been mallard hunts. It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, I still, it's the beginning. We only have 10 videos out. Last year we put 29 out. We're not even halfway through, and people already kind of like semi-complaining that we're not putting refuge hunts out. It's like we barely even started. So I don't know. Cut us a little slack there. I was just trying to say, are you guys seeing our video? Are seeing our videos? And 60% are people are saying, no, we're not seeing your stuff pop up in our feed. So I was like, okay, that proved my point. YouTube is not, okay, so there's 787 votes, and 65% of people say, I don't see your videos in my subscription feed. These are people that are subscribed. So 65% of 787 people are not seeing it. So it's proven. That's all I want to do is prove. People just don't even, it's not popping up, and that's super frustrating. As someone that's trying to create content, trying to put stuff out there and share the hunts. But yeah, people, I mean, there's like over 100 and some comments, and they're like, yeah, the vibe's different this year. I don't know what it is, It's just kind of random, but like, I guess a lot of people are trying to say it's not relatable and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I think people are only saying that because the only thing that we have done that's any different than we've ever done is 2 videos. The one where hunting, what was the title of that video? Hunting public land hard pays off. That was more of a cinematic style video. Thanks to my good buddy Caleb that does insane editing. And it kind of makes me a little bit irritated and feel bad for Caleb because he's put so much time and effort into helping that. He's using a camera with a 6K, and all people want to say is, oh, it just reminds me of Sitka. It's like, how's that a bad thing? Like, it does irritate me a little bit, I'll be honest with you. Like, it does offend me a little bit for him because he did it on his own time. I'm not paying Caleb, and he made this very, very good video. That's not how all our videos have been. Go back and look. They're all just regular videos with us either wearing GoPros or using the camcorder. And people are, it looks like all you care about is killing mallards. Well, no kidding. That's always been our goal. We're still going to shoot the mixed bags. I haven't drawn one cotton picking resi. In California, I have not drawn one cotton picking resi to hunt our refuge. So I either got to go in the afternoon, and we have those videos, and we've still been successful on those refuge hunts, but I haven't got no resi. And most of you, I guarantee you, listening that hunt California, you probably haven't either. That's just how it goes. You spend tons of money and maybe get 1 or 2 or 3 a year. Some people I know, they get 10, 15 a year. I don't know how. But I would say, yeah, most all our hunts are ready. Uh, refuges, people just don't know where we're at. It just proves, and I think it's funny because it just proves to me people have no clue where we're at. They assume that we're at these other places. They have no clue. So we're still doing refuge hunts. Sorry you can't figure out where we're at, but we are still doing refuge hunts. And we have some good ones coming, so I can't wait for you guys to see. Should I give you a little sneak peek? I know. Anybody that's watching on the YouTube channel will get to see. Hold on. We're going to wrap this up, but I want to show you guys something. Those of you that are watching on the MVM Show YouTube channel, all I'm going to do is show it to you. I'm not going to say what it is. But this video will be coming soon. Hopefully, I don't know, probably next week or the week after. Probably next week. But I got a little something to show you. Something that happened on that hunt. Yes, sir. So stay tuned for that, and we'll talk more about that later. Probably do a podcast episode on that once the video's getting ready to roll out. So pretty exciting. It's been a good year. I'm excited. I am excited. We have a month and a half left this season. My goal is I'm hoping that this week I can go out to the spot I'm going to try to go, and I'm going to try and shoot 7 Drake Chevalets. Just to make everybody happy that says all we care about killing now is mallards. And make everybody happy. I'm doing this for you guys. This is 100%. And you know what I'm going to do too? I might even do a little cook-off at the end of that. If I can make that happen. If I can get 7 Drake spoonies. And you know what? That sounds easy to do. And there's some places you can go in California and do that every time. But it's not as easy as you think it would be unless you're just in them. Sometimes you're just in them and you're like, okay, well, I can shoot 7 Drakes right now, easy. But you can't really plan it and say, okay, I'm going to go out there and shoot 7 Drake spoonies. I'm sure there's some places out there people are yelling at the podcast right now. I know exactly where to go. Well, I know some places you can definitely have a good chance at it, but I don't know about that good. So maybe we can shoot 7 of the other greenheads, the old boot lip, the old Hollywood. And boy, I bet you that video will go off the hook. Nobody cares about a pile of mallards, which I guess I get that. In California, though, you got to understand, those of you that are listening in California, that is not the easiest thing to do in California on a refuge. That is not the easiest thing to do. It's very hard to do, actually. Or you've spent years and years and years and you've got your spots. That's really one of the biggest ways. Now, some of you outside California, that's probably why it doesn't mean anything to you, because you see mallards. You've maybe killed more mallards. Maybe that's the only thing you kill is mallards. So you're like, man, I want to see the gadwalls and the spoonies and the green wings and the blue wings and, pintail and all this. Hey, I do too. I'm not no purist, but I will say I do like hunting mallards. They're smart birds. So we're gonna end it there. I'm probably gonna have a lot of things I wish I would have said, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Give you a little bit of insight. Hopefully those of you watching on the episode like seeing what you've seen right there and knowing what's coming up. And pretty cool. And looking forward to the next episode. I'm going to contact them today, a special guest I really think you guys are going to love. Stay tuned for it. We'll have another episode out this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. Love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.